After 5 long years, I am back to the YouTube scene. I have decided to resurrect my YouTube channel in hopes of recreating the goal that I set out with my YouTube prior, and that's just to send a little bit of happiness and joy into everybody's lives. So, like I've said, I've been gone for the last 5 years, so this video I kind of want to treat as a resurrection video of kind of a, let's see, what's a best way of describing this? Like, where are we now in this last 5 years? Well, in the 5 years I've been gone, I can only start out by expressing just how much one's life can change in 5 years. Because shortly after my first YouTube video of where I was talking about how I wanted to be doing hood rat shit with my friends, riding around my skateboard, BMXing all throughout town and all of that. Just thinking I was gonna stay a young, dumb, single man for a long time. Well, shortly after creating that video, September of 2019, I actually ended up meeting my forever partner, the love of my life, the seed to my pod, however you want to put it. She came barreling into my world on a hope and whim. Actually, it was more like I did a Uber Eats and went and picked her up one for her favorite snacks as initiation into our first date. But long story short, after 2 or 3 months of talking in November, we actually decided to start dating, and shortly after that she moved in with me. And during this time we lived in a little 500 square feet house that I was actually planning on buying from my friend's mom, in which we used that as our like home base. And if you guys want a longer version of this story, feel free to drop a comment, drop a like, say anything. Let me know if you want me to go more in depth into this my time away from Facebook. But yes, we had the house. We called it the Bond House. We had planned on buying this house to actually turn it into a rental property for us to make some form of passive income off of it. Because yes, shortly after this, of course, the events of COVID started happening. And, with all the uncertainty in the world, and plus Hannah's business was just now starting out, which Hannah is my wife, for all of you that are gonna find out within these next couple of videos. Her business was first starting out, and we had our house as the home base for that business. Well, COVID started rearing its ugly face, and me myself at this time, and I still am a exterior carpenter. I work construction. That's the reason why you will see that my my YouTube handle is now Blue Collar to Top Dollar, and you will see the reason why it's called that and what my message is behind that. But yeah, going back to the Bond House, during COVID, when everything shut down, we would often stay out at Hannah's parents' property, or her grandparents' property, is kind of a homestead of where a lot of her family lives. We was staying at a cabin which was about 400 square feet. Not very big at all, but not very much smaller than our house on Bond. Well, during that time, we actually was tipped off about a house about a couple of miles away from her family's property that was coming up for sale. And needless to say, we're still at this point about 4 or 5 months into our relationship when we stumble upon a house that was vacant for, this was 2017 at the time of when it became vacant, and at this time it was 2020. Well, it was vacant because of a massive house fire that someone, we are pretty sure, purposely tried to catch it on fire. And we came across it. Me and Hannah both came through and checked it out. And honest to God, I threw a number out there that I did not think was feasible, was possible. I just threw a number out there that I thought surely there's no way of them wanting this amount of money. As in, it wasn't very much. I was kind of just like trying to hit a home run with a little tiny pebble, kind of. But surely enough, it actually was the number that he was thinking of. And I do have a couple of pictures that I will show of the house when we first came in and what it looked like before we started any I would say it's just a blessing that we stumbled upon this house. And if you guys want a more in-depth video over the process of when we started our forever home and the house that we currently live in now, but I would say about a couple of months into COVID, we got the okay to start working on this house to make it livable for us to get a actual loan, because the number that we threw out at him, we were nowhere close to having that type of money or any way to finance it without a bank loan. And thankfully, with the help of my wife's family, we was able to invest the money into the house that we needed to get it deemed livable for us to get a loan for the house, in which that was a lot of money. So long story was, the house needed to be completely gutted, all the electrical needed to be redone, all the plumbing needed to be redone. Essentially rip to bare walls and start building from the ground up. And there was a good portion of the house that was actually severely burnt in the fire, and you will see in these photos the level of severity in a couple of these pictures. Like, I'm pretty sure there is 1 or 2 pictures that you will just see the pure fear in my eyes when I realized just how much of a tall task that this was for me to take. Again, definitely a man reconsidering life decisions. So you can definitely see my reconsidering life decisions now. Pondering, will I be able to get this done? At this point in time, I was a exterior carpenter with some knowledge on interior work, but nothing to this scale and nothing when it comes to restoration of a house that's been in a fire. So it definitely taught me a lot. It definitely taught me a lot. There's a lot of countless long nights spent working on that house. It took a lot of time. Both me and Hannah's grandfather actually got severely ill during the process of building this up, and it was not with COVID. But also during this time, it was still a lot of COVID restrictions. Cost of lumber was crazy during that time. Just a lot of different issues. And during the time of when I was sick, actually, right after I was released from the hospital after being administered for, I believe it was a week and a half, I was actually informed that we was evicted out of the house on bond. Now, the bond house was a house that I invested a lot of money out of my own pocket into while I was renting it from my friend's mother. And when this happened, it was completely taken. It was completely blindsided. Like, I literally just paid her rent like a day or two before this, and there was no problem. And so it devastated us. It devastated Hannah's business, especially during this time of COVID. And it made us have to resort to other means to, number one, find a place for us to live. Because during this time, I lived and worked in Wichita, and we came out here. I lived and worked in the same town that I lived in. And so I would come out here to where our house is now and work on it after work, other than COVID when we was shut down. Then during that time, we was staying at Hannah's family's cabin, which wasn't very far away from this house. Well, when we was evicted, we had to grab all of our stuff, and thankfully Hannah's family was kind enough to allow us to stay out in that cabin during that time, which was still another, I say, at least 6 months away from us having the house ready for us to move in. So that was a big shock, and then also that was our means to a passive income when it came to us making another form of revenue, and also money out of my pocket from what I invested into that house to get it into rentable shape. But everybody has always told me that that was a blessing in a disguise, and long story short, we definitely came out better on that end than the people who betrayed us. So fast forwarding a little bit through, I also want to state that during this time in 2020, I actually proposed to my wife on her birthday in 2020. So after proposing to Hannah in 2020. Still, COVID was in effect, and that kind of affected our ability to get married later on that year that we had anticipated. But we was able to finish and close on the house in February of 2021. Also around that time, we started finding means for Hannah to create her business elsewhere, in which she was able to find a kind-hearted soul that has offered her a room in his business that she was able to grow into, creating a bigger space out of that location. And we actually have a full-on gym at that location in which she teaches and coaches out of, which I cannot be more proud of that woman for overcoming the obstacles we had when we was going through that time, because she had a lot of confidence in herself to overcome what COVID threatened so many bigger companies with, and was able to persevere through that. So, to bounce through a couple of years, we continued to grow. Her business continued to show strides. I was able to kind of start my own kind of blue collar construction remodeling side hustle when it comes to like just doing small jobs like tile work and any form of things that I could get my hands on. Just building my confidence, building my knowledge, and building my name, essentially. So I know that during COVID, we had to put a hold on us getting married because of all the restrictions going on. But finally, in May of 2023, I was finally able to make her my wife. We had an amazing wedding. I'll have some pictures and everything to insert here so you guys can see that beautiful time for both me and her. I have been able to really grow into the man that I've always wanted to become, and the man that I was always set to be. And you can see that in this 5 years that I haven't been in the presence of y'all, like, I've grown a beard. I would say I've definitely matured. I've probably got a lot more wrinkles than I did then, but my message is still the same. My name changed from Inspired with Tyler to now it's Blue Collar to Top Dollar. And now my main goal is to show you guys the growth that I should have showed you throughout this time that me and my wife had. I feel like it was something that could have been very inspirational to the YouTube scene. And I feel like it's something that I believe I could help a lot of people in my field and in my age range really harness their inner power to create the best self, create their best self. I'm not so much like an Andrew Tate individual, but you will see that I have 3 main goals that I want to push on this YouTube. And one of those goals will be essentially just carpentry, blue collar work. Hopefully I can talk to my bosses and see if they're interested in letting me record content while I'm at work. But I also have a lot of projects here at our house that I would like to get done. And I feel like if I create a YouTube platform of showing and essentially maintaining maintaining a discipline to get these things done, because a lot of these things that I finished in 2021 when we got the house and signed off on the house, but I have not got back to finishing any of these projects. And I feel like if I create something for you guys to expect, then that will essentially light a fire under my ass to get these things done. And so if I see that you guys are interested in that content, I will be more than willing to get this stuff done to appease you guys, and also finally get it done so my wife can finally be proud and show off some of the work that I've put into this house. Also, I am a big proponent of fitness and health and staying active. I am 31 years old. I am an exterior carpenter. I've said that 3 or 4 times now. And I've been doing this for around 8 to 9 years now. And I just want to show you guys the benefits of what staying active, staying fit, hitting the gym every once in a while, trying to maximize your body's natural energy and what that does for you on a daily basis when it comes to mental clarity, and also mental, physical, psychological health. Because I know it's hard out there for a lot of people in my field. I mean, I dealt with it. I went through the trenches with my own self-confidence. And I've also went through it with a lot of people that I see. I mean, there's a reason why what we do, a lot of people who are substance dependent find themselves in this line of work, or also find it after they get themselves into this line of work. So I just want to show you guys what I do essentially to stay ahead of the curve, and how it affects me mentally, and how it affects me psychologically. Both are things that I feel like truly make me into, if there's any Dragon Ball Z nerds out there, my Ultra Instinct version of myself, blue collar, top dollar. Because to me, top dollar could be anything. Top physical health, top in your field, top in finances, top in whatever it may be. The other thing that I want to get out there is I am someone who, at my age, I feel lacks a lot in knowledge when it comes to investments like stocks. I mean, even 401k, Roth IRAs, all of those things. So I kind of want to show you guys my journey on becoming more confident when it comes to understanding finances, and essentially try to grow with me, because the main headlining bold point of my content is I want to continue to grow. I want to forever grow, and I hope that I can encourage other people that are following in on these videos to grow with me, because I feel like if I can get one person to grow, that's essentially my main goal. And regardless of if anyone wants to view these things or not, I'm going to put this content out there, because I want to look back and be able to see my own growth and see what it can potentially take me longer down the road. So if you guys are interested, I am going to be posting more carpentry and homestead on my own home content. I also try to record fitness and health related content when it comes to my wife's business. I might take you guys to the Y with me and go through the swimming processes that I have, because I believe that they're very beneficial psychologically and physically. But I also want to show you guys my education when it comes to trying to self-teach my own financial ways and what I feel and what I can find will be most beneficial for me, and see if you guys want to track along on that. So I'm gonna leave that be. Like I said, this is my resurrection video, so hopefully you guys are kind to me. If you like this content, feel free to subscribe, like, share, comment, whatever you want to do. It will help me out tremendously, and I'm going to let that be, and I'll talk to you guys another time. Thank you very much for listening, and I'm out.